I want to do a little story time called Watch How You Talk to These Kids. Now, it's a personal narrative. When I was 5, I had a kindergarten teacher. I wish I could say her name, but I don't know. Um, I hope she remembers my face, and I hope this come across her internet. And she might be old, but old people got internet. Anyway, kindergarten teacher. Now I'm 5 years old, and before I went to school, I already knew how to read and count to, well, past 100. Okay, so when I got to kindergarten, I was on fire. Okay, none of the other kids knew, and I was honestly surprised at that. I used to often wonder why I the only one that knows. But fast forward, with that being said, I'm the brightest student in this class. But guess what? I stayed in trouble. I stayed in trouble. I don't know what it was. I didn't know. I didn't know. Now I know. But I didn't know at the time what it was. So, she would find something to pick with me on. And one thing that stuck out to me, and one thing that actually stuck on to me, and quite sadly it still sticks, is she would always tell me, you can't color. And y'all, I would try to do everything to impress this lady. I used to be kind of. And she would always tell me, you can't color. I see a white mark. And it was always something. It was always something. It was so bad. I remember this day, everybody was cutting up in class, okay? We are 5-year-olds. Everybody was turned. I was already in timeout, okay? But when I seen the whole class turn up, and I was just kind of sitting there, and at first I wasn't going to partake because I was already in timeout. But I was like, well, what I did wasn't remotely as bad, so I got up and I started turning it up too. But she came directly for me, and she grabbed me by my arms and she shook me, and I kicked her. I did. Now, I got in trouble for it at home, and I revealed to my mama of actually a few months ago what she did, and she was like, I wish you would have told me. I wish I would have told her too. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Fast forward, okay? I'm trying to tell y'all a story. So I get to middle school. Well, first, 5th grade, at the end of the year, they make you prepare for middle school. They make you choose your schedule. And the option for electives was either art or theater arts. Well, I felt like I couldn't color, so I thought maybe I could act. But then I soon discovered, well, I thought I had stage fright. Because now you can't even tell. I still got the twinge. I don't really like, stage. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I discovered then, though, I had took theater arts my 6th grade year, and we had to do a mime act. I think I probably could do it better now. I don't know. I'm a reenact it, because I remember what I wrote about and everything. But either way, and that's the thing, I might be a better writer. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was afraid to take art for this reason. 7th grade came, I forgot what I took. I didn't have to choose art, no type of art, so I didn't take art. Or 8th grade, I didn't have to take no type of art. But 9th grade, the option came up again. I was like, man, I don't want to take neither. This woman had me so afraid to take art. But I was like, look, it's either draw or act. I said, man, I'm about to try to draw. Forget it. And you could tell by the smile on my face, things was turning up. So I'm in this class, okay? And I had a friend in there that I knew before the class. That's a long story. She's no longer a friend. But anyway, I was happy to see her at the time. So I'm like, okay, that made me comfortable a little bit. And the teacher said, draw this. I was like, it was a picture of a woman. And I just started drawing. I didn't really, I thought to myself I couldn't draw, but I was like, I ain't never tried to draw either. So I just started drawing. And as I was drawing, I was so surprised at myself, because I was like, this looked like that woman. And then the teacher come pass around, and I was so in the zone, I didn't realize he was standing over my shoulder. And he says, wow, that's amazing. I said, yeah, I know. And he was like, why you sound surprised? I said, because I am. This is my first time drawing. Look, I said all this to say, I might still don't color. I really don't like crayons, but I'll paint, I'll draw, and I write. And if I didn't have to be faced with those options, I don't think I would have ever, picked up a crayon even. I'll color every now and then, but I still feel like she in my head. I can't stand it. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I'ma get it. Okay? Anyway, but I said all that to say, as kids, we are sponges. We soak in every little thing. Every single thing. So, people often wonder why kids are the way they are. And it's not just because of at-home influences either. That's what I really want to be a big factor here. It's everybody that this child has to come in contact with. So you have to really think about the child's village. You have to think about, how are you speaking life into your children? How are you making them confident enough to speak up when it's necessary? How are you able to help them flourish? This woman has so much power over me, and I thank God that He is God. Because, like I said, I was faced with those options again. I had to make a choice. And I really just sat up here and was thinking, like, God really aligned so much. Because even though I had her as a kindergarten teacher, mostly every teacher after that inspired me so much. Like, people call me a teacher's pet, okay? But I had some wonderful teachers along the way. I can't wait till I make it so I can shout them out, okay? Because I'm going to go down a list. Because there's some people that's some real MVPs, okay? Hey, teachers don't get enough credit. But they got some teachers that shouldn't be teaching. Well, the end. I hope this somehow inspires somebody and really helps somebody in some type of way, or just entertain somebody, or help somebody learn something about me today, or wonder why I write. Well, I write to heal. But it started somewhere. Writing and drawing started at the same time, about the same time. I started drawing first, then I realized I needed to release somewhere else, get out all those emotions. But now I'm running out of time. Y'all be easy. Have a good night. Peace.